coming back to school with me. We could have done it all so easily.
Hi, my name is Craig Thompson Wood. I'm the board game teacher. Thanks for coming to the classroom. Today we're taking a look at the fifth part of my 9-part series on the Engage Math series, which is an initiative put out by the Peel District School Board. This one is called Purposeful Use of Resources. So in the Engage Math document, purposeful use of resources is defined as follows. Manipulatives, technology, media, textbooks, professional materials are all valuable resources. Using a resource purposefully is different than following the resource lesson by lesson. The important thing is that any resource or tool is used purposefully to respond to the needs of the learner. And we're talking about things that we can use in a classroom in order to help our learners. And I mean, manipulatives, textbooks, and all those kinds of things we know about. Now, as I've been talking a lot about in this channel, games are, of course, a great way for kids to learn. And whether we're using board games or gamifying the lessons that we already have, games are a great way to teach our kids. Just very motivating, a lot of fun, and all those other things which I've talked about before, which I'm not going to talk about here. But the point is that when we use them, we need to use them purposefully. So it's not going to do any good to just throw some board games out and say, here, play. I mean, there will be some learning that could happen, just by the play of those games, sort of as a result of doing it, but it's not really the most desirable outcome that we have. What we want to look at in the use of board games in the classroom is what board games are going to be good for what situations. How are we going to incorporate the board games into the classroom to get their most desired result and the best effect from them? So this is something I will be moving more into as well, is talking about how to incorporate more of the games into the classroom. But just know that there needs to be a consideration in your mind before you go putting some games out there, is how are they going to go out there and which games are going to be the ones that your students will benefit from the most. So they talk in the statement about the resources, i.e. in this case board games, are selected based on learning needs. And so again, if you're going to be teaching a lesson around something, I'll use the example of probability again. There are games which are great for teaching probability and ones that I would highly recommend for a junior or senior class, and how you use those things is going to be very important. But selecting the right game for the right people for the right situation is going to be very important. I mean, there is going to be probabilities, like even in a game like Monopoly. Oh, I need to roll this number. Well, okay, what's your probability of rolling that number? I mean, you can do it, but it's not as valuable as other games could be. So again, looking to which games do what you're trying to do and do them the best to make sure that you are meeting the needs of your learners, but also considering that your learners may be at different levels. So if your learners are not as advanced, maybe you're teaching a class of students who have some special needs, then maybe you want to consider some games which are going to be more at their level so that they are not frustrated by the game. Very important to always consider the game that you're using, how you're using it, and how it meets those needs of the learners that you're going to be presenting it to. And the great thing about playing a board game is that they're going to allow the students opportunities to demonstrate mathematical thinking, as well as for you to model mathematical thinking, which is then going to be how we know about their needs. So as we, through different means of assessment and things, we will find out about their different needs in the mathematics. And so through the gameplay, we can then start to address these things. And again, as we play, have them talk it out loud and have them to explain what they're doing through the game to better understand their mathematical thinking and their mathematical reasoning. And again, it gives you opportunities to model those kinds of things. And when I play games with my students, I make that mandatory, is that anytime we play, even in the board game club, I want to do the math as much as possible. I just find that those kinds of things, it's a great opportunity to do that, and they're already very motivated to because we're playing the game. Well, that's going to wrap it up for today's episode. If you have any questions about purposeful use of board games within the classroom, please leave me a message in the comment section below. If you have any other questions about games or anything to do with board games in the classroom, as always, do love to hear from the viewers. Just leave me a message in the comment section below. But until next time, I'm Craig Thompson with the Board Game Teacher saying thanks for coming to the classroom.
Are you coming back to school?